Hello everyone, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I've got a little bit of a different one here today. Still backtesting the strategy, but I am doing it on Australia USD pair. I've been live trading that this week. Was forward testing it for a few weeks and really wanted to see if it does, how well it works with the strategy. It does work quite well. I'm mainly focused on around the London open times, or mainly focused on order blocks within that were produced within the Asian session, which, you know, being the Australian dollar, you get a lot of volume coming from Asia and Australia during those times that can definitely make decisions on this market. And so that's where I figured, okay, let's focus on the Asian session order blocks that pop up. As you can see, I'm in a different office once again. I wonder how many offices. Right now, still in Germany. My wife's family are away on holidays, so we're looking after their house and all the pets. So yeah, I'm in the home office here recording and bringing out as much content to you guys as possible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run over last week's price action. I'm going to give you a rundown as top-down analysis, and we're going to run this bar by bar so you can see how I trade AUD and see how it works with this strategy. I'm going to be bringing a bit more to this for you. I'll be running over a few different pairs because I know people have preferences that they like to trade, different times that they can trade it and all that sort of stuff, and I want to make it as available to everyone as possible. So thanks for tuning in. Let's get started. Okay, so I've already moved back to Monday the 24th of July with replay tool. I've started on the daily chart as I do, you know, just run through a few basics. You can look back and see all my videos. It's not that different. I've got a few extra ones here because I'm playing around with optimizing my backtesting off video. Just helps me to get through them quicker, but main ones I always use in my trading are the sessions. So I mark out the sessions, the Asia, Australia, New York and London, so I can see the opens, the closes and the crossovers easily. The fractal break and balance, fair value gap, liquidity void, it's just this highlights these imbalances that are left over past and current, just so it's easy for me to identify. I play around with this still with this multi-time frame breaker structure. There's a few other ones here that I've been playing around with, but nothing I actually really use in my trading. So let's get started. So on the daily, I'll work backwards so you can see how I got across to here. So we've got a low here that was broken, daily breaker structure. A next major low on the daily that was broken over here, daily breaker structure, which then gave us the highest point between the break was here, a daily high, a strong high, as we're in a downtrend, and our daily low here. Okay, let me mark that up. It's quite good. I'm using a new software to record this, so hopefully it's a bit clearer and I don't end up with as much lag. So let's see how it goes. You can let me know in the comments. I'm also thinking about, for these longer backtest videos, overlaying a little bit of like house music or something that's just like sort of steady pace with no words, just to like, you know, keep a bit of vibe going for you guys. Whoops, I've done daily high there, daily low. Okay, we're in a downtrend, so we're expecting this to hold. As you can see here, we got a wick sweep. We're in another wick sweep. And then you could almost consider, I'm sure it's probably nicer on the 4 hour, but we'll mark it out here just because we're seeing it on the daily, just so we can see the significance of it. We got a daily chop, which is weakness after the sweep of the high, which, you know, okay, it would have been nice for this high to hold, which it technically has. There's been no closes above it. So how I move my structure is this final wick high is our new strong high that we need to break. And we're expecting this low to break. So, you know, you can see there's some internal structures on the daily here that I could mark out on the daily, but they're going to be very similar on the 4 hour. So I'm going to leave that for the 4 hour market structure inside here, because otherwise we're going to have like lines over lines. I wanted to just mainly have this as a big daily range, huge daily range we're in. Realistically, there's a potential couple areas. You know, this was a really good sweep here with liquidity that sort of led to this like break of structure chalk type area here, you know, so look, we can pull that across and it's probably, yep, we've had the reaction out of there plus a nice break here, so potentially this low could hold here. So what we'll do is I'm going to mark it up on the daily, just because I like to give it a bit of extra significance on the points of interest. We're also, because we're in a downtrend, the main ones we're really focusing on this huge one here. It's going to be very strong if we come back into it. Mark this out. You can see that we've already reacted from it, potentially mitigated. A lot of demand came from it, so coming back into this area, we may get more demand to push out. We don't know how long we can end up being in this range. You know, it could range for a very long time. We just trade what we see at the time. So sort of the main stuff I'm interested right now. I'm going to go on the 4 hour because I want to mark this structure up on the 4 hour. But yeah, let's have a look. Okay. So let me see this last. We were working our way down since that chalk. See, it also would have been a nice 4 hour chalk here. So sort of can intertwine with these high time frames once you get such big ranges like this. And you know, I don't want people to get like too confused. It doesn't really matter that much, you know, what time frame, daily or 4 hour, you're seeing the structure on it. If they agree with each other, that's pretty nice. So while I'm here, you probably can't see it that well, but I'm just marking out so everyone I can see, you know, my train of thought, how I read the market. Like, you don't really need the details in this. This is old price action, but you know, we've got a 4 hour downtrend down here. You know, this is a recent high. Okay, we ended up having like a slight chalk there. So, you know, you obviously can see a slight chalk. Somewhere in here we would have taken a long. If you can see my pointer. But I just want to show you how we get across. We got then a wick there. We did get a chalk here again. This is still our low that we're looking to break, which we eventually do to bring us back into this downtrend. But, you know, it's definitely quite a bit of manipulation you could get. You could have got a long out of here somewhere because we had that chalk, so we want strength. We had the sweep. You know, but then we had this break of this low, so potentially would have been looking for shorts again. However, this main low held, so I'm going to speed this up. Then we got another break of these highs. So, you know, Australia, obviously, AUD, USD, we're not taking trades off the 4 hours, but this could have been quite a confusing zone as we got a break of the highs, held these lows, sweep of the highs, held these lows again, break of the highs, and then we eventually had the breakdown here. So, definitely areas on the chart that could have been confusing. We would have just played it on the 15 around this, and maybe this is some sort of area that I'm going to go back and backtest at some point because it's quite tricky price action. But there's so many pairs to trade, and that's what I'm understanding now, that the strategy does work on pairs, a lot more pairs than I first thought. Obviously not all the time, and you know, every day is going to be set up on every pair. But, you know, if you have a few more options, that you have some good backtesting data, and you have these hard rules and you see a trade playing out, you know, so maybe AUD, especially this week, has been showing much nicer entries for me than Euro USD. And so instead of me wasting my time trying to force something on Euro USD, I've been able to find a couple of nice winners on AUD USD and capitalize on the market using the exact same strategy. So that's what I want to show you today, bring it to you. So we had this breakdown here, another 4 hour break, and then our chalk here. We had a huge like break of this high as well, you could say. It's probably more like a daily level. But theoretically, I would say we're 4 hour, hard to say, 4 hour. This was our 4 hour range from here to here now. Yeah, so externally we're 4 hour bullish, if you could say that. We put in sort of like a double top here type of maneuver, so we could be coming back down to touch the lows. You know, I've gone quite far back and, you know, explained all the way forward because it's the first time running this pair and maybe people want to look over it. But, you know, we've got these little breaks of structure in here on the 4 hour, which means like sort of for me internally downtrend, and then we had a chalk internally 4-hour uptrend, but still, you know, we would have expected this high to break. However, it's been rejected. So it's just how it happens, you know. Okay, let me target that as weak. We may have just been, you know, setting up some more liquidity to take at a later date. However, we'd know we're a daily downtrend, so you know that could be the double top we put into to bring us into a 4-hour downtrend to break the daily low. So at this point, this is a strong. A lot of this internal structure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on a 15, because then it's a 15-minute time frame, and it's a bit clearer there because we have such huge ranges here. I'm, you know, marking out our externals and then internals. This could end up being quite a long video for the first one here, but I'm going to try speed it up, I think. Actually, what I wanted to do, sorry, before I jump down, is mark out some 4-hour areas of interest for us. Okay, this is our last area that broke structure here, so potentially this is going to be defended. All the rest is sort of old areas of interest. Quite possibly huge liquidity here that we could be coming to take with this fail run of the highs. So this is just essentially, if we're going to hold, it will be here and we push up. However, we've had quite a big sweep here and some bearish momentum coming in. So that's another area I would be looking for rejection and shorts out of. But this is the last area to keep this internal 4-hour uptrend going. So 15-minute chalk bullish in here, take it up to probably longs up to here, 15-minute bearish chalk back down. So we're going to go under the 15. This is how I look, you know, we've got big supply area. I'm going to make a video on supply and demand. But we're looking for like areas where, you know, we had huge imbalance in the market, we broke structure. It's pretty much the 15-minute OBs we're looking for, but just on the higher time frames. They want to have that big sweep of liquidity, you know, the market's been manipulated, stopped out a lot of people, filled a lot of short orders, pushed down, we have a balance present, we broke market structure down here. And same with here, you know, okay, it wasn't as clear liquidity sweep, but huge amounts. I'm a bit more lenient with the big 4-hour POIs, huge amounts of push here, like absolutely just straight vertical with imbalance. So huge amounts of demand came in the market here. So I'm going to make a short video, learning video on that for use, but just a quick, you know, example there. So let's now jump down to 15. I'm going to try to be more conscious. I had a few feedback of sometimes the charts were hard to see. So I'm going to be quite conscious of zooming in a bit more. I think with this new software, it's a little bit less laggy. My computer and everything. I'm going to just bring this across a bit. I don't need it that. Yeah, so then, you know, you can have better, you can see the candles much better. It's the best I can do, obviously, when we have to look at such amount of price action. I'm going to see what I can do. Get really zoomed in for you guys there. Because like on my big monitor, it looks, you know, super crystal clear, but then I know what you guys mean in terms of when it's not so clear, especially if you're trying to watch on your phones or something. So 15-minute market structure. Broken here. Big breaker structure there. It could almost be a 4-hour internal, but I'll call it 15-minute as well. I'm sure the indicator probably agrees, but must even have a bigger one. Anyway, this is how I'm seeing it. This is our major low that pushed up. This is what swept liquidity, pushed down, and we broke. You could like have little internal structures here, but it's not something we're that interested at this point until we start to move out of this area. You've got started making structure outside of this huge area. So when it gets a little bit tricky, because we're mainly trying to follow that down. Okay, no breaker structure there, just a sweep. And what is this, Sunday? Okay, so pretty much I'm not really going to trade Asia session with this, I don't think. So I might put to skip through it a bit quicker. Potentially I will mark out if there is actually we did get the break of structure here finally, 15. We've tapped into this 4 hour though. So this is where we were looking for chalk longs. So pretty much did we get that? So this was the last, we swept. And this is the high. We do have a chalk here. So this is all lines up with a 4 hour internal uptrend with a 4 hour point of interest, especially chalk being put in on Asia session, Asia with Australia session on the AUD. You have to like sort of connect them up. You know, I know it's AUD versus USD, but I'm from Australia and I know that our money gets traded a lot overseas in Asia because we have so much trade with Asia. And so I think a lot of volume comes into this market during the Australian Asia session, obviously, makes sense. Not as much in the US session, but still quite a bit, you get movement. But, you know, I think this sort of session here is what can be quite controlling the market type of thing. So let me just put this down. Okay, so we've had this chalk here. So we broke the last high that led to a break of structure. This is the sweep, this is the break. How I do my market structure, we look back. So this is low, high to the sweep, low, and then that's where we have the break of structure. So there's this is like the huge, you know, wick that we could realistically take, because this is the big sweep wick. This is the last big down candle before the push up. Sometimes I like to look at the 5 minute. This actually looks like a bit of a nicer one there because we've had mitigated, and this is where this, on this low time frame, the demand came into the market. So I will cover the last down candles here. So that's why I like to use in conjunction with the 15. It doesn't look as clean on this, you know, potentially if you want to just cover the whole area. But, you know, sometimes I'm a bit more advanced and like to get my sniper entries. Trying to have a look. If we're looking at this, if we're going to enter here, you know, we have, like I said, we have this 4 hour point of interest. We don't have to come back to it, but let me draw up my premium discount levels. Okay, there. So probably get pretty cautious anywhere into this area as we are still downtrending. But we have got our signal. Oh, sorry about that, guys. We have got our signal for a reversal. Okay. So at least targeting up here. You know, there's decent little areas of interest there. That could be act as rejection. Some more up here. Ideally, we want to target up here and wait for like a 15-minute chalk. But yeah, let's keep. This is our first opportunity. And this actually works well for guys that, you know, I know there's a few people that can only trade the Asia session and they feel a bit lost, especially on the Euro USD, because sometimes there's not as many opportunities or as much volume. So potentially this could be the solution for that. Let me line it up. 4.6. She goes to 5.1. I'll leave it on the edge. I'm toying with if with my buffer it goes over 5, I move to the 0.25. But let's have a look. We'll target this 50% here. Maybe we just target, just because it's right on the equilibrium, we'll target the low of this supply area, where, you know, huge amounts of supply came into the market, all these sells. I'm going to change this to 1, just because the 3 goes a little bit too fast, and I don't want to miss trades setups, and just for a better user experience, hopefully. Okay, so we'd be tagged in. Oh, a bit of a deeper though one. It could have got deeper on there. The 0.25 would have been tagged in. Whoa, even deeper. So that. So this is what I sort of talking about. This is the area when I would be trading. So for it's playing through a bit. For me, I would be, considering this is still a potential order block to be taken, as it's still the chock area. Even though we did tap into it on, this is pretty much Frankfurt open. I would be in it here. I'd get nervous there, obviously, with this sweep, but I trade from about, I'm on New York time, but I'm trading from about 2 a.m. New York time until, I don't know, sometime in the afternoon. So yeah, I would actually be in this trade, and yeah, so let us play. We'll see if there's any setups. I'm not really like that interested in taking, into trading, because I know just from like I was backtesting quite a lot on Australia USD, and unless it's like super nice obvious setups, London is like, if you trade Euro USD, Asia gets swept a lot, so sometimes it can be a little bit more risky to take these Asia order blocks. Whereas I've noticed with Australia, London seems to be like the slow sort of session in this pair, where you can get quite big sweeps come through. So let's see. Not looking that great right now. Yeah, that would be probably us swept out of that trade. Sorry, just having some coffee. Okay, let's go. Let's see what we could have done differently. Maybe I went too sniper on that. Potentially, I'm still playing around with break even. I've removed break even from my vocabulary on Euro USD. Oof. It would have been quite a nice 5.31. What did we get? We did get swept here. That is annoying. Maybe I tried to sniper it too much. Could have gone this big area. I guess this is still valid. Anyway, we'll put that down as a loss, but a learning point. Let's keep the target the same. We're going to look for maybe some other entries on the US session here, and see if this would have played out for a 9.9, almost 10R, if we had just potentially covered these wick lows. Bit of a rookie move on my part, but it's all about learning. So interesting, we did have this rejection, a big chock down. However, we are still in this discount zone. So I'm not like that excited to take shorts until we get up into this area. I would be more, potentially, this was like an internal chock here. This could act as a area to trade from, an opportunity. Okay, it didn't break this high, but we've still maintained this chock uptrend with a breaker structure inside here. Okay, we haven't broken this high, so it's quite an aggressive trade, but potentially could play. Let's just mark it up. We're all learning here, so. What have we got here? 10.4, so it's going to be off that 45. Realistically, you could target just the taking of this high for R, but let's have a look. Okay. Okay, we're in Australia session now. Hopefully you guys can all see my chart quite nicely here. Let's hope we don't get a US sweep. Oh, looks like we probably are going to. I wonder if we would, I forgot to put my 0.5 on there. I wonder if we would have survived that. Probably not with spreads. Not a great start, but would have been just tagged out. A lot of learning lessons here. I really think this session is quite king here. You know, like there's not often you see on other pairs where, you know, really nice order blocks like this get swept. So something to be aware of. That's why I said in the initial that I was looking to just take Asia order blocks. Realistically, theoretically, this should have been your order block. It's the last 15-minute down candle before the chalk. Sorry, and you know it's so big we would be entering on the 45 and we would have got tagged in perfectly here, and it looks like it's about to go to target. So let me just see. Yeah, it's a huge order block, so we go to that. Would have been tagged in. It wouldn't have been as great risk reward, but still 5.6. And we're going to mark this up. I'm marking that up for later. We've taken 2 losses here on a little sweep off. You know, maybe we would have, if we went to 5R there, would have been pretty sad to watch that all go back down, but that's trading. This, I think we would have been tagged out on spreads. I can almost guarantee it, especially if you're running a funded account. Usually, you know, sometimes in these sorts of sessions, it can be like 0.5, 0.6 of a pip. So maybe that's something to be aware of as well. Give yourself a little bit more room. But yeah, let's go from there. Let's keep pushing up. I'll extend this out because we know that that's sort of the area that we would have been targeting. And let's keep going. I really just love this raw backtesting. It's like really, you know, like when you go over these charts, you know, if you don't do it bar by bar, it's, you know, you can always have a look and you're like, oh, you know, it looked pretty good. You know, oh yeah, I would have definitely taken that one, but you know, would you have? That's the thing, you know. So it's easy to say after the fact that, oh, I wouldn't have taken this one, no way, because it's got, like, when you look and it's got swept. But you know, this is a pretty nice order block in here. We had a nice big sweep of liquidity, 2 lows swept, imbalance there. We broke structure here in New York session. You know, this is very high probability order block for me, no matter what pair you're looking at. Anything with the USD for sure. May have just missed something here. I wonder if there would have been enough. Let me have a look. So we had a break here. Got a nice. Let me have a look on the 5 again. Oh yeah, that is nice. Okay, see all these. I'm going to count all 3. Okay, that were 3 5-minute candles of 15. Nice, or what do you call it? Flip zone order block here. Oh yeah, perfect on there. Okay, let me just mark it up. Looks like it's got slightly front run, and I wonder if we missed a potential opportunity here on this wick. Sorry, I was too busy yapping. Wonder if there would have been enough R&R into it to our target there. 6.1, so we go to the 25. And we would target this bottom of this supply area, this 15-minute supply. 4R, there's potential. Let's see if we would have played. The only thing I don't like this particularly, actually, no, I really look at it. We just marked this up. We're actually staring right in front of us. Imbalance. So these are the rules here. We've got imbalance below. It's something I want to test. I wonder if this works here. So we're going to be, this one's invalidated for us. It did break structure, potentially on the 5 minute. There's some imbalance still. Oh, there's actually not, so that's sort of like a tick against it. However, this is a nice order block on the 5 minutes. I mean on the 15 minute here with imbalance. There's some liquidity here. Let's try the sandwich setup here that I was talking about. And this is the main structure. You know, this is sort of like extended structure. And we never really got the pullback here to take out any of these lows to get our continuation structure. So this is our main break here. Our main structure that we broke. This is our flip zone. This looks pretty good, so you can almost probably include the whole thing. I wonder if I'm going to get stung on a sweep again. Because I'm just being too aggressive with my entries. But 5.3, let's go to the 2.5. And we give ourselves that 0.5, 4.7. Yep. It's going to be pretty good risk reward, I think. What are we going for? Target this. 5.4. You'd be happy with that any day of the week. So this is still an Asia order block that I was talking about. Oh. Did we hit our target? Not quite. Then we front run it slightly. Yeah. Let's see. So this one did hold. Interesting. It's not quite hit our target though. So I'm wondering, I'm going to leave this just tucked out here. So it could have been a little play. It was really respected. I guess we had the sweep. Maybe there's even on slower time frame there's some imbalance, but this is all sort of, I don't know, where if we had have already come into, we're still in the discount area. So I'm still happy to keep this one on because it's still the flip zone from main structure. Okay, I think that would have tagged us. So we had like a double bottom here almost. Really nice to set up for even like, just so we had like liquidity to be swept here on London Open. I mean on New York Open. So let's move this across. Oh, we would have been tagged in. Same area. Oh, there we go. There we got our win on the board, 5.4. Yeah, this would have played out for a small win. Yeah, however, it was sort of, what's the word? Yeah, it wasn't good because of the imbalance there. So we got the main move here anyway. We've now tapped into this. This, you know, realistically, if we had a 15-minute chock out of here, which is what I'm looking at, this would be my 15-minute chock. I would now be happy to go short. You know, realistically, well, it's still some wicks, not like a full close. Pretty nice sweep here. Anyway, let's have a look. Oh, I wonder if we hit this 4-hour point of interest. What could have been the... What are we running if we... Well... Oh, 8-hour. Anyway, we were conservative. I'm not really looking to get into anything this late in the day, especially because I know what Australia and Asian session do. Well, I don't know what they do, but they control the market, so definitely some sweeps could occur. We ended up with like some sort of break of structure here, kind of, I think. Sweeps, sweeps, wicks, 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 wicks. Not really. Hey, another wick high here in spread hours. Nothing solid break to give me any faith to take longs out of any of this. And we're now in... let me move this across, sorry. Trying to be more aware of it. Pretty disappointing, these all played out. Slight wicks here to miss out on a 7. Okay, this would have been a conservative one for 5.6. And wicked out of this one for a 10. So few minor adjustments we could make here, and you know, instead of having 2 wins and 2 losses, we could add 4 wins here. So it's looking like good signs. This is the whole point. You find a pair that you works with this strategy, and then you refine the strategy and really hone in on your edge. So I'm just going to pause the recording for a second, and yeah, I'll be back. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back. Just was having a bit more coffee. Okay, so we're sitting here exactly where we left off. We're in now the discount zone, which is a really nice zone to look for shorts if they come. So let's see what we get here. I'm still kind of potentially this could be the new chalk area after this wick high. Yeah, I'm gonna be quite aggressive with it. And let's see. Okay, stop. We're at a chalk in the discount area on Asia session. Looking decent. Nice big sweep of liquidity. Nice break of chalk being caused. Jump of the 5 minute quickly. A little bit imbalance there. Let's zoom in a bit. Don't need all that white space to the right. I'm being more conscious, promise. I don't know why it's going the other way. Okay, come on. Essentially, let's have a look. $6.2. Go on to 25. Put this for 5.3. 5.4, whatever. And we're going to mark out the 15-minute low. Week low. We're in downtrend. I can say it, I can mark it out. Oh, 13.5 R. If only. Let's see. Oh, where's that tag? Anything obvious on the 5? Just too bearish. A bit devastating, to be honest. Absolutely sadness. But we were right. Shock happened, just died. What is this? 15-minute candle. If we had got tagged on one of these, could have been. Oh, anyway, sorry about that. We're only back testing, and my disappointment is off the charts. What's next? What is next? Trying to have a look. This is actually a huge amount of, what am I trying to say, of supply coming to the market. Where have we tapped this untested area here? Didn't even think about that, because let me explain this to you. We had this, we never swept any of these lows, so we never got the pullback, so it's all just like pushing up, no lows were swept. This finally swept a low, but let me draw this across for you. Wicks, no body, wicks, no body, wick, no body break, wick, and finally wick. Whoops, wick. We didn't, I guess a slight body there, but you know, that's not like what I would class as a break of structure confirming it. So the last real break of structure we had with a full body break was this low here on internal. So maybe this holds. Big dump into it. This is our new area of supply. I'm favoring shorts. However, I'm aware that we haven't touched this 4 hour. We've got all this liquidity line above here. There's this imbalance above here that we may come and fill. Let me just mark that out. Liquidity. We don't have to. I'm just, you know, this was untapped. This is all, you know, this could be just a huge liquidity sweep to push back up. So I think with my shorts, I'm going to be a bit more conservative now that I've actually realized what is what there. Let's have a look. Let's set up my short. This is our next area of supply. 7.1, 2.5, we're at 5.8. Oh, come on. Anyway, 5.9, whatever. Sometimes it's just like, come on. What do we got here? Something like that. Maybe back to this demand. Oof. I don't know. Let me see how this bottom gets put in a bit. I wonder if this would have been a good long. Just don't know. Okay. Not really a bottom put in. Got all this leftover wick area I'd be cautious about if we sweep some of these lows. Maybe I'm a conservative with the take profit there, just in case this is an area that we're going to go long from. Huge liquidity sweep, you know, this could be this is like a huge order block almost. It's a massive, but theoretically it could be a big, if we come and break this structure here, I don't see why not, but let's see. For the time being, we are going short. Once again, I'd like to point out, what is it? We tagged in Frankfurt Open, which is 2 a.m. New York time. We were tagged in, so off a order block in Asia. Yeah, hopefully I'll have a little bit of music playing that you can dance along to while you wait. Oh, what a momento. We have hit our target, conservative target. Even, I wonder if you could have, you know, this demand again. It's probably right there. You know, they wicked into the demand, retested the demand, and pushed up, potentially. And could we have gone long out of both these areas? Potentially. But I'm more cautious with longs as we have rejected from the discount area. However, this is looking pretty bullish here. So we've locked in this one anyway. You know, 7R or even, you know, conservative 5.8R. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Can't complain with that. I wonder if it goes to full target of 10R. That would be nice. But it's not looking that great. Well, must have been some news, I'm guessing. Pushed up, broken that. We still haven't chalked this high, so I'm not really sure. I'm not like a huge fan of trading New York session. Even on Euro USD, I do it, but on this sort of pair, you know, there's not that many opportunities I've seen really. Maybe this long, but it's not very clear, is it? We're pretty much still ranging between, let me put up the areas. Pause. Sort of our internal 15 high and internal 15 low. Our external 15 week low that we're looking to break. Liquidity above, imbalance above, 4 hour, point of interest above. Maybe we are targeting, maybe we're taking out these highs. And feeling that imbalance, tapping in here and then getting our real chalk. You know, if you don't want to trade this, it's quite tricky. I only realized it because I was quite specific on this. Otherwise, you know, potentially this could have gone back to break even, or if you're taking partials on the way, could have been ended up quite a good trade, or, you know, if you're moving down a low time frame, also a good trade. I'm quite conservative with my take profits generally. Obviously this would have been nice. You could have definitely targeted there, very valid, into the discount zone, chalk, why not? Hasn't played out this time. So, you know, if we do get a nice short, say we take out this or some nice short setup. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Okay. Absolutely pumping it. We've now broken this. This is our internal break of structure on the 15-minute. We've now taken all that liquidity. Look at this. If you had any of your stop loss here, you've just gotten absolutely minced. So don't do that. And we're in this 4-hour POI. I like that. We're setting up, imbalances filled, liquidity's been taken. We're setting up for a decent short here. Let's hopefully get something. Push down. There's nothing I want to enter here. Well, you know, down here, but if we're coming all the way back down there. Okay, we've had a sweep of the high. Still playing out. Gonna stop or what? Okay, liquidity sweep. What do we have here? A chalk. 15-minute. With good imbalance. Liquidity's all been swept. Inside a 4-hour bearish POI. Inside a 15-minute bearish leg. Okay, we're bullish on the internal, but we know we're looking for shorts. Really nice point of interest put in on Asia. This could be the one. Let me see the size of this. 4.9. No, I'm in an R in about this, because like once I know it's 4.8 there, once I move it to, you know, my thing, it's 5.4. So I'm in an R where I go to the 25 on that, because I'm looking for like under 5 pips if I can, and the stop loss, just because the risk reward is just like so much better. Could be a huge trade. Where's our 15-week? Whoa. 23R. No way. Let's have the difference. Let's see the difference on that. We enter on the edge. 18R. Enter on the 25. 23. 5R difference. Let's hope we get tagged. Maybe I'm playing with fire. Oh, I thought he was going to dump hard without us. What's the time here? Okay, we've had Frankfurt open. London open happening. Oh, we're tagged. Oh, that is a very nice swoop there. Let me zoom in. That is an absolute ripper tag. Wonder if we get like a second chance to enter that. If we didn't go it on the wrist, we've got like that sweep here, push down, sweep again. You know, there's potential if it came back, you could, you know, look at covering this, but that's sort of like a confirmation you've got there, because it's like an internal weakness, because we had the sweep of the highs, the push down, sweep again to test that high, and then that dump. You would only be entering this like confirmation one if you weren't already in this risk one that we're in. Let's see if we would. It's not looking very... Oh, no, it's not come back. Okay, at this point, you are absolutely laughing. You are 11R. Oh, mate. 23R. I think that would have been the big. This would be the biggest trade. I think I would have. Oh, look at it go. Okay, so we've taken out this internal low here. Interesting. Taking this liquidity. You know, were we too ambitious? Should we have just taken the 21R and gone? Because we've now let it go back to 17R. Nah, this is our target. I don't see why we shouldn't hit that target. I hope we do it this case. I'm assuming we would have. I don't know if I would have taken partials, but my stop loss wouldn't be up here. That's for sure. Maybe like above this one, because this is like a consolidation. Here we go. Stop there. Oh yeah. Crazy. 23R hit, and it's still going. Wow. That's that breaker structure. Before we forget, that's our main breaker structure. Let's mark out this. Nice flip zone. Nice sweep of liquidity. Led straight. Okay, it's in New York session, so I'm not like that about it. But yeah, wow. Look at that. These losses don't mean a thing. 23R. Okie dokie. Let's be aware. Still got a 4 hour here. So, you know, could even mark up this. It's like technical like chalk if we're going to be super aggressive. But yeah, this is our next short. Find targets. Good question. Good question. I'd probably just stop trading. This is Thursday. I'd take Friday off. 23R. Mate. Alright, let's keep going. Let's see if we pull back to that. I think with this, we'd just be targeting the next low because we're sort of extended past. Or if we've marked out, do we have this daily somewhere? Oh, we marked out daily down there. Hey. Come on. Software's meant to be making it less laggy. It's going very slow. Let me just pause that for a second. I'm going to pause the recording again. Whoop. Alright, look, it's catching up. So, I unpause it so you can see that it's catching up. I think it was lagging so hard and it's just dumped to... Yeah. I'm gonna... Sorry about that, guys. I'll see if there's anything that was available. But yeah, it looks like the replay mode, it was lagging and then it's just played catch up though. So we had another breaker structure here. Let me zoom in a bit so you can actually see the candles better. Nice sweep here. No fill. And then we just sort of just down. Another break here. At this point, we're very overextended. I want to have a look at the 4 hour. Let me just mark this up as... This is where the liquidity is. So that's probably targets down there. Nothing here really screams anything. This was our last area that I was sort of interested in. Otherwise, there's this liquidity down here. It's like, you know, that's been mitigated. This is not really swept any liquidity, so it doesn't have huge screaming that much to me. So I've got that line marked out now. You can see it there below on the screen. I guess realistically, that should be it. I'm yet to notice that the imbalances above or below have huge impact like they do on Euro. So I'm going to assess that situation. I think, you know, if it's an order block in Asia, London loves to respect it at this point. I don't know if it's just now or we'll see. 5.8. Whoops, went so much. There we go. 6.3 on 45% line. Very ambitious, taking all this liquidity down here. Oh, we're in and out. Hey. Well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe this 4-hour order block unmitigated has some power. Let me see. Maybe I should have marked it out anyway. Oh, we swept it. Liquidity. I guess I could have marked out all of them. They were unmitigated, so I just don't like having too many there that like aren't that exciting for me. I'd rather not be distracted by potential reversals and just focus on the main downtrend. But this had to pull back at some point, didn't it? So I'm happy to take that loss. We've got a chock here. We've swept some lows. I'm not like that excited about going long here. It was, you know, we've reclaimed a 4-hour point of interest. I guess I can delete this chock. Let's have a look. If this is sitting in the discount zone, it's a huge 15-minute, like, I guess, like, you know, this is the whole leg. Okay, we've had breaks of structure that we've been riding down, but as soon as we have chock, this is when we're looking to be pulling back into this discount zone. Yeah, I think this is the one. Otherwise, you know, flip zone and let's look at an extreme, comes up to it. That is pretty huge retracement, but I don't know. I haven't traded AUD for very long. I'm just using the principles that I know in my strategy, and this says that this is now our low that we want to break. Weak, and the high is way up, way up. I'm going to keep zoomed in on like current market structure. Be interesting to see. I'm not like a big fan of trading outside like London. Like I said, it can be used as quite a, you know, but there's a couple areas. Oh, that's annoying. Probably even have to zoom. Well, it's lagging on. There's this extreme that led to the chock, and I guess, what is this? This is like a ugly sort of pullback area here. It's like the whole thing, sort of like the flip zone. But there's balance below. Let's see. Let's mark them both out. Probably shouldn't on a Friday. Had my 23R, should have just gone bloody taking the day off and taking the missus out for a nice dinner. Oh, 8.1, hey, that's crazy. Put it on the 25. Oh, 6.5 we want, no, 6.4. Targeting this because we're going to go short from that. I like that for shorts. Flip zone, okay, it's New York, not Asia session, but flip zone, downtrend, swept liquidity, balance. Or 11, that must be, have to be off 50%. But still 8.7. 9.2, 9.3 is fine. What would this be? Oof, 12. Alright, also I'd take a long out of here. Let's see if we get swept on this one. About to be. Oh! No way. Still time for the sweeping. I think that might be Friday done. That could be it. Yeah. Friday. Take that loss. You wonder if it fills that gap and keeps going. Ah, well, that's it. That's the week done. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna have a look. I'll reset up the chart. I'm gonna review this week as well later. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. Okay, a loss there, loss there. You know, we should have just taken Friday off after a 23 hour. But you know, it moves quite nicely. The few things I'm going to note down and adjust. Oh, absolutely. Could that be more textbook chalk? 4 hour downtrend, retrace to the 4 hour POI in the discount area, liquidity sweep, chalk with imbalance, oh, tagged in, and then straight to the breaker structure 23 hour. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to go over these again with the results, and I will be back in a second. Awesome. I've tallied everything up now, so I'm going to go over it with you. A couple losses here that potentially can be avoided in the future that we know in terms of covering a bit of wicks or giving a bit more on the stop loss, but overall, epic week. Let me go through the trades one by one, and I will tally it up as well. So pretty much started the week, yeah, Monday. That is the start of the week, makes sense, doesn't it? I'm going to zoom in, be quite conscious of this for you guys. We tapped into this 4 hour order block. We had our breaker structure. We had this chalk here. We got a bit too sniper on this one. Would have been like 5R up to this point before we got dumped down into New York and stopped us out. I marked this one out as well because this would have been the conservative entry, because this is our whole 15-minute downwards move before the outwards chalk. So theoretically, we could have taken that one and given us 5.6. So I'm going to include it in the data, but also include the losses as well. So, you know, I cannot, if you're not happy with that, but, you know, I did mention that this could be the whole one. I tried to go a bit too sniper entry. We took the loss. However, I want this in my data anyway to understand like that's probably better off, you know. We could maybe end up doing a break-even trade on these. At the moment, I have a policy of no break-even because it's cost me more money than it saved me. So this one again as well, got a bit too tight with the stop loss. I think we would have been done with spreads, unfortunately, because that was a beautiful 7.14 risk-reward trade that would have played out. That was pretty much just like following on with the structure, yeah, with this internal bullish break of structure inside our bullish move up. And so then our next one, we had our breaker structure. We had our flip zone entry. We looked on the 5 minutes. It looked quite good there. We were aware of this one, which would have played out a small trade there. So that's very good to note out. However, with our rules, we had this imbalance below. So we're looking more at this sandwich setup that I think I've like coined the term, or I'm not really sure. Into this area of supply within our discount zone. We then pushed up, had a 15-minute chalk, didn't get filled here. Huge amounts of supply coming out of this candle here. So that was our next area. However, what I noticed later was this the actual main break of structure. We just had this grinding up with no body breaks. So, you know, potentially there could have been longs out of here. However, you know, it was a little bit tricky to see. So after we did realize that, we were more cautious with this short here and took it just down to the wick, just in case there was some low time frame chalk in there out of this bullish bullish order block, which gave us a 6-1, which was actually quite good because we did hold that low and start moving up. We moved up quite quick. We weren't really looking for longs at this point because we had already tapped into the discount zone. However, we did push through. We were aware there was liquidity here. There was imbalance in this little gap here. We had another 4-hour point of interest here. So this is where we had an epic 23 risk to reward trade. You know, on a percent, that's 23% of your account in, let's have a look at the time, in a day, pretty much. A bit less. Let's see. We hit 6 hours. So not even a day's work. Even at a 0.5%, you're looking at, you know, on a 100K account, you're looking at literally 12 just under $12,000. Even at a 1/4%, you know, $6,000 and $1,000 an hour. Not too shabby. Perfect setup. I love this in this in the Asian session. I notice at the moment, at least, it's controlling the market quite well. We got a beautiful textbook chalk out of the 4-hour POI and a 4-hour 50-minute downtrend. Perfect, nice order block that swept the liquidity, had imbalance, broke caused chalk. Entered according to our rules in the OB. Target the 15-minute week low, and you know, 6 hours later we were there. You know, this is for my, well, not even swing traders. You want to see the insanity of this? You know, this just kept moving down, pushing for the next whole day. You know, there's 40 R in 2 days. You know, it's nearly 50% of your account. Absolutely, yeah, incredible. Really interested in this pair. Currently in a trade right now in profits. That's going well. So I'm pretty excited to keep pushing this pair as well. Really like how it moves. Not a huge amount of opportunities, you know, valid opportunities, but when they come, they give. So we kept pushing down. This is a pretty aggressive trade here after such a big move down. However, because it was in, you know, in Asia session, we did have a bit of balance below. Maybe I was a bit too aggressive on it, but you know, we'll stomach the loss. It is what it is. And then another quite aggressive trade on Friday coming out of here, which we discussed, you know, balance below. And you know, I'm not sure if we would have held it all the way through as closing in here, but just for, you know, full disclosure states, I will mark it out. You know, we're just trying to trade it as we would trade it live, exactly. So let me tally this up. I can't believe there was potential for 40 R in 2 days from this. It's like literally a textbook entry. You know, it doesn't really get much cleaner than that. Absolutely so sad I wasn't in that one. Wasn't really monitoring this chart that much. Super excited to add something to my repertoire. So let me get the text box, classic text box. Totals, wins, 1, 2, 3. Losses, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, you know, a couple of unfortunate losses here that could have tallied up to crazy amounts, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Total, we have 5.6 plus 5.3, it's 11, 17 plus 23 is a total of 40 R. Minus our 4 losses, so 36. Oops, I know why I'm typing RR. Available and just 3 wins. You know, I'd be happy. I'll just take this one and go home. You know, I wouldn't even trade Friday, to be honest. But that's awesome. So hope you enjoyed this one. I wanted to add some new pairs to my list because sometimes, you know, pairs aren't trading the way you want, and if you're only really monitoring that one, I don't want a huge list of pairs, but you know, 2 or 3 is fine by me. AUD USD is looking really nice for me. I'm going to keep backtesting it. If you really like this video, subscribe, like, comment down below. Let me know if you trade Australian USD, and let me know how you trade it. Try out this technique. Follow me along, and let me know if you want to see anything else. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next video.